Take me back to this time last year. You just turned 20, second start in the Sprint Cup Series. What are your expectations for Daytona? I mean, you're going in thinking what?
At that point, I was going to be happy if I was still around on the last lap. Didn't have the fenders knocked off of it, and we were running top 15. I would have been pumped up, and that would have been a perfect day. So I never expected to be leading on the last lap. That was never even in the storybook at all.
They'll face the white flag when they come around to decide the 53rd Daytona 500. Rookie Trevor Bayne in his second Sprint Cup start will lead them to the white flag.
Take me through that last stretch. What's going through your mind? Carl Edwards is behind you, chasing you. I mean, what are you thinking at that point? Is your heart just busting out of your chest?
Yeah, I mean, when I passed the white flag, I was like, well, this is pretty neat. I led the last lap of the Daytona 500, you know? Like, I still didn't think I was going to win it. I thought I could tell my friends a cool story about, you know, and they would see how I did. And, you know, normally it doesn't work out that way. You get crashed or something happens on the last lap, a caution. And so I was like, okay, what's going to happen now? We make it around to the backstretch. Bobby Labonte's pushing me. My biggest fear was that Bobby Labonte and I would get checked out too much, and then Bobby Labonte would be able to turn down under us. And then when he'd pack air on our spoiler, he'd go by. So they get under the 47 car, they separate us, and it gives me the chance to pull down and box him in. And it was just, I couldn't have scripted it better. I had planned on running second all day and making a last lap pass, but you know, it worked out good the way it was.
Are you kidding me? What?
So it happens, and your reaction is almost like it takes your breath away and all your words away. I mean, what is that moment like for you when you realize I'm the champion of the Daytona 500?
I was listening to the replay of kind of what I said, and one part I'm like, like I don't even know what I'm screaming. It doesn't make sense. It's not a word. I was just like, and that's the excitement that I had, because I didn't even know what to say. When I was in victory lane and they're asking me stuff, I'm just like, I don't even know. Is this real? Are you kidding me? Because it felt like I was going to wake up from the dream at any time. And it was still that way for a couple weeks after. Even now, I have to wake up sometimes and look over on the dresser and make sure the ring and trophy are still there, just to make sure I didn't wake up from a dream.
Can you tell us maybe what one of the most profound or coolest thing that someone said to you? Was it somebody from your team or a family member or something after that race?
One of the things that sticks out the most is, I think Darrell Waltrip said it during the race broadcast. He said, well, that young man's life just changed. And I guess to me, when I look back at that, that was one of the most true things that anybody said. I don't want to be any different as a person. I don't want to change who I am or whatever, but the schedules change and how busy you take off, and you're all around the country and all this stuff, and expectations, you know, going back to Daytona this year. It's no longer the expectation of 15th, it's the expectation to back it up. So a lot has changed since then, but still trying to be the 20-year-old Trevor Bayne here.
One of the perks of being the Daytona 500 champion is meeting other famous athletes. You had a chance to meet Tim Tebow, and I wonder what you can share with us regarding kind of the parallels you have, not only as athletes in your sport, but also sharing in, you know, how strong you are in your faith.
Yeah, well, Tim's a great guy, and I think his faith is real. You know, and that's what we see. You see people living out what they actually say, and I think that's really cool. When I talked to him on the phone after the 500, he just had some really good advice and things, and it wasn't even like a long, hour-long conversation. In that 10 minutes, we packed a lot of good stuff in there. So things that he told me then, I didn't know that they were going to be coming up, or I didn't know what to expect, and I started seeing them happen, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember him talking about this, and I kind of went to that. People don't like to hear athletes say whether we win or we lose, we still have the same peace and joy, because we're competitors. We want to win, but I think it's that balance of understanding what God's will is and having that desire to win.
You went back to Knoxville. I know you spent some time there, and I read in a recent article you found some of your old schoolwork.
Yeah, I
now,
did.
This is a great story. I wonder if you could share that with us, because it's so funny that at an early age, you kind of had this plan.
I guess so.
Tell me what you found.
So I was looking through this box that I found in a closet at my house, because I was back for off season, and I had all my old schoolwork, my report cards, my artwork, you know, all my letters and stuff. And I found these pictures, and every single picture I drew was of my go-kart or my race trailer or something, or me and Jeff Gordon playing with cars, you know, or whatever. And I found this one letter, and it really stuck out. It was what I was thankful for is for Thanksgiving. The first thing I said was, I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank, you know, I'm thankful for my go-kart, my family, my churches, whatever. And then I was like, and Jeff Gordon, you know. So it was the funniest thing ever, looking back at that and seeing how big of a fan I was of the sport.
That's so funny, because I could see you even almost practicing that in
your
room, you know, for when it really happened.
Exactly. I think I said in there somewhere, I was just at a banquet and I got to thank my sponsors, you know, because it was a go-kart banquet or something fun.
What's it going to be like going back to Daytona this year? Entirely different circumstances
It is.
and the hoopla that will surround that.
Last year after qualifying, we qualified third, and our numbers stayed up on the tower for a couple days, and I'd look up there, and I'd think, man, if we could just finish there, that would be insane. But now I know when we go back, we have the chance to be at the top, and I think that's really important for our team. They know that they can win now, which they've known for a while because they're the Wood brothers. They've won a lot of races, but you know, my new guys, my crew chiefs, and you know, just everybody's really pumped up to go back because they know we can do it. I believe in them. They build great race cars, and I'm going to try to do everything I can to put it at the front.